Most of us in the salon industry have heard of a sales consultant or sales rep representing various brands. They come in, sometimes they come into the salon or into your shop and they talk to you about what your needs are. Other times they're a phone call or over the internet that you communicate with these people. Well, what you don't think of is that they have quite the perspective of the industry as a whole. So today I have TETYANA KAUFMAN, direct sales consultant with CosmoProf of the DC metropolitan area. And she's going to share with us, one, what it's like being a sales rep for those of you who are thinking about making a change in your career. And two, in the next time we talk with her, she's going to talk to us about what she sees as trends in the industry from a business perspective. Welcome back to the Hairdresser Strong Show. I am your host, Robert Hughes, and I am talking today with TETYANA KAUFMAN. TETYANA, how are you doing today?
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me here. I'm good. How are you doing?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm doing well, thank you. And and as I mentioned in our little opening, there's a lot of there are a lot of students that I talk to or stylists that are thinking about making a change in their career. And I actually had a student reach out to me not that long ago saying, what other type of things can I do with my career if I decide I don't want to be behind the chair, or maybe don't even want to finish going to hair school? Not that I promote that, but that's a question that was asked. And it seems like this work that you do might be another option, another avenue for somebody who maybe might not have a license, or maybe has been in the industry for a while and they want to make a change to get back from behind the chair. So I thought it'd be interesting to hear, one, how'd you get into doing what you're doing? And two, what it's like, what a day in the life of what you do is exactly how it goes.
Yeah, no problem. Again, thanks so much for having me here. This is really exciting. And yeah, this is a very wonderful and complex industry with a lot of opportunities and possibilities for people like myself, who is not a stylist or not a licensed cosmetologist, but also for anybody who is a stylist, or they decide that they don't want to be a stylist anymore, they don't want to be behind the chair anymore. So this industry is very awesome in that aspect, that it has a lot of opportunities, and I'm glad to be able to share some of my story with you guys. So thanks again for having me. So I am a sales rep with CosmoProf, where my official title is direct sales consultant. And I serve as Washington, D.C. Metro area. And I've been doing this for full 4 years. This is actually my 5th year doing this. And I'm very lucky to be in the position that I am. I met a lot of wonderful stylists. I met wonderful people across my journey, including you, Robert. We met through me actually, cold calling on your salon and trying to establish that relationship. So that's basically one of the biggest things that I love about my job, is that I get to meet a lot of people across the board. So yeah, how did I get into this? Well, I was in the salon as a front desk administrator before this. And my life kind of threw me into this mix. I worked closely with our sales rep when I was helping with inventory and other administrative stuff in the salon that I used to work previously at. So I enjoyed working with my rep, and I liked what she's doing. And I always thought to myself, I wonder if I could be good at it. And then the opportunity presented itself. So I definitely jumped on that opportunity, and here we are, going on the 5th year.
Nice. So you were working in a salon. What were you doing what was your role at the salon?
So I was a front desk administrator.
Okay, cool.
And basically my role started off as a part-time front desk receptionist. I personally never really had any desire to be behind the chair. It's something that I know I can't do. I have more of the drive for the business and administrative stuff. And so when I was able to evolve in the front desk position and then become a little bit more of a, administrative position, that was something that spoke to me more. And that's the journey that I was discovering and learning. And I was always very eager to know this business because it's very different from any other businesses.
So you're working, you start off at the front desk, you move into administrative position, and then you're working more directly, I guess, at that point with the sales reps. How exactly did the position present itself?
Um, well, it's a it's a complex answer, honestly, because I really don't remember how it happened.
Okay.
But I do remember that curiosity open up in the, ooh, how is it gonna be if I were to be on the other side of it? And I did not know much about different brands and the different opportunities that present within the role until I got into the role that I am at right now. And quite honestly, some of the brands that I represent now were fully new to me, and it was really awesome uh, to learn them, to get to know that aspect of the business. But there's always, if we're talking about the opportunity, how does it present itself? I'm a firm believer, if there's a curiosity, something will start presenting, the opportunities will start coming. As long as you are curious about something or want to know something, then you just start seeing the articles, the posts, the information, and then you start paying a little bit more attention to it, maybe when you in the past were not paying attention to that. So that's basically how it happened, and I'm here now.
Okay, so speaking of curiosity, what for anybody that's interested in what it's like as you doing what you do, why don't you give us a little bit insight into a day in the life of a sales consultant for a product company or manufacturer distributor?
So yes, there are different roles that direct sales people take on, whether you're working for a manufacturer or you're working for a distributor. So I'll be sharing a distribution model of, because I do work for CosmoProf, which we are a distributor. We work with a lot of different brands and we represent a lot of different brands. So that opens up a lot of windows for communication and conversation, because we have so many different options. It's not just one thing that you're walking in with. And as me being a curious person, I am always very open-minded, and you rarely will see me walking in with bags of product if I've never met you before, because to me, I want to get to know my potential customer, or even a potential new friend, before I can go in there with bags full of information. But to describe the day of my life, I would say it's hectic, because we juggle a lot of things at the same time. You are on the road a lot, you are behind the computer a lot, or you're texting a lot, calling a lot. So it's a very multifunctional role, and every day is different. And being in the distribution can be as rewarding as it can be challenging. But at the same time, no matter what job you're doing, and especially when you're starting with something, it's not always going to be fruitful right away. You have to put a little bit time and effort into everything that you're doing, whether you're starting as a stylist, whether you're starting as a sales rep, whether you're starting as a dentist. Like, you still have some of the things that you need to work on before you can feel comfortable in what you're doing.
Okay, so let's say just like a hypothetical day.
Mhm.
What do you go visit the salons every day? How many days a week do you work?
So I work, I want to say, almost every day, but I do give
Okay.
myself a Sunday to spend with my family, or just to do nothing, quite honestly. But yes, I consider that I work every day, and there's nothing wrong with it. I don't find it as being like a big burden for myself personally. because I also understand the other side of the salon. So just to give you like a little example of like how my day looks like, I don't go on the road every single day, but when I do, my days are a little bit different. So like on the days that I am on the road, I usually have the appointments that I already preset. And if I do have times in between, I will pop in into some of the salons to say hello. But most of the time, I value my client's time and I value your client's time. So I don't want to just show up and take away you from your customer, as well as make it a little bit uncomfortable for everybody. So I try to utilize my visits with salons with purpose. And I try to ask you guys to give me at least 30 minutes of your time so I can have your undivided attention. And that's, to me, is crucial because, like I said, especially in the post COVID world, you never know how customers in the chair will react to additional person in the salon. And their time is very valuable to you guys. And I try to respect that with you as well. On the days that I
So
am, I'm
hold on,
sorry.
sorry. Okay, so that's days on the road. We're gonna go into days not on the road. But I wanted to just say something. I really appreciate you saying that, because there's been so many times that somebody has just popped into the salon and everyone's busy and they want to talk to you, and it's just like awkward, and sometimes you want to talk to them, and sometimes it's not just like, oh, I have to feel like I need to make time for you. It's like sometimes I'm like, oh, you know what, there is something I wanted to talk to them about. And face-to-face communication for a lot of the things that I like to do is preferred. And so I really appreciate you saying that
It could be the situation where, I might send a message like, hey, I'm going to be in the air. I'll just pop in real quick. So kind of just to give the awareness, like, you don't have to go away from your customer if you don't have time, but I'm just gonna, come say hi.
yeah.
And that's something that to me personally was you know uh, I guess I don't know how to elaborate on my words properly at this one. I don't want to annoy anybody with my uninvited presence, but at the same time, if I'm in the area and I don't stop by, I feel kind of terrible that like I didn't pop in just to say hi.
I
So
totally get that.
it's one
Yeah.
of those things where you just kind of have to play your cards right.
So you were about to say a day in the life of Tatiana that is not on the road, when you're not
Mhm.
on the road.
So when I'm not on the road, that's where I actually get to do a lot of that nitty gritty work. So, of follow-ups, reaching out to the customers. What I personally like to do, especially with my already existing clientele base, after working with them for a couple of years or even like a couple of months, I kind of have a general idea what is that they can benefit from, or I know what is that they like or dislike, so I can narrow down the promotions that might be applicable for them. I can narrow down maybe the education that can be applicable for them. So I try to group it, and then I take that time when I'm working from home to either email, text, or call them with that information. Because I not only I do have that time to do at my desk, but also it gives me a little bit more of that organization. With as far as placing people's orders, customers' orders, that's something that it depends on the day. I can do it as I'm on the road, or I do it on my office days. But every industry, whether our industry or any other industry that we're facing on a day-to-day basis, had been in a way um, suffered in a way from the supply chain, and a lot of my work is making sure that I can get you guys these products that you're looking for. So that's what that downtime is, where I can figure out, okay, maybe when is the next truck coming with this product? When can we expect the delivery for this product? And it's much easier to do it when you're stationary rather than when you're on the road. A lot of times it could be my Zoom appointments that I have with customers, or my phone calls that I set up with customers. Because as much as I would love to see everybody every day and every week, we know that it's unrealistic. And at the same time, I don't want to waste your time, and I want to plan it efficiently. So if we need to squeeze in between a phone call just to catch up on what's happening, I'd rather do that than not be in touch or trying to catch you in the salon. But again, going back to the entire work environment, it's very multifunctioning. Like you are sometimes a hero, sometimes you are the bad guy, sometimes you are sometimes you have to put out fires, but sometimes you have to just accept that there's certain things that you can't control. And I try my best to communicate with all of my customers within 24 to 48 hours of their request to me. If I have information right away, it's usually I do it within 24 hours. And if something that I need additional information or additional time to find that information, I usually notify and let my customers know that I will get back to you. I don't have anything yet. Sometimes it takes longer, but again, it's a lot of juggling.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it's
Mhm.
constantly changing and keeping you on your toes.
Well, we can say it that way, but I don't want to give it like a bad rap for what we're doing. We're this job is awesome. I love this job. I love what I do. My favorite part of this job is being able to meet the people, meet the stylists, because every stylist that I meet gives me a gift of new information, gives me a gift of some new perspective, whether good or bad. It's all gifts that I absolutely enjoy, and
Well,
it helps me form my personal opinion about how the industry is evolving, how industry is changing. And without that information, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. So, and then with this information, I can maybe help other salons and stylists if they find that that information is beneficial to them.
which I'm so glad you said that, because that is exactly where I want to go with this whole conversation. But first, before we go there, I just want to ask a question. What about, do you ever work with any stylists to become brand educators, or like product knowledge education, or do you do all of that yourself? Or like, tell us a little bit about that, because I'm sure some people are wondering about that.
Sure. So, like I said, because I am a distributor, I work with a lot of different brands and I represent a lot of brands, and each brand is structured differently. So, my role as a sales consultant um, is not uh, necessarily, I can't necessarily go and educate for a brand. I can share information and knowledge that I know or that I'm comfortable with sharing based on the knowledge provided to me from the manufacturers, but I can't represent the brand per se. However, when the brands that we represent have openings for ambassadors, educators, or anything in that field, when it becomes known to us, we share it with our
Okay.
customers. So, for example, if one of the brands that I represent send us an email with a flyer that they are currently hiring for an educator, I will pass it along to all my customers that use this brand, because that's for them to choose whether they want to engage with it or not. Now, when it comes down to me educating, I can only share so much as I know, and if that's considered to be like a class in the way, we can set it up in that format. But again, I am not representing a particular brand, so what I'm sharing is based on my knowledge. But it's that's why it's a very slippery slope. Like usually, if I'm comfortable with sharing some of the stuff that this is enough for the stylist or salon owner, we can leave it at that. But if they need more in-depth information, that's when the class scheduling comes in. And I work really tight with all my educational managers with brands. So those people are the source of that plethora of education.
So if somebody, this is good. So I think we got a good understanding of what it's like as to do and doing your job. Like it sounds like it's, it sounds like it's it definitely is. It takes, some focus and some work, and it's constantly changing, which is kind of like similar to the salon. As a stylist, I feel like every single 45 minutes or whatever it is different. You never know what someone's going to walk in with, what the request is, if they're going to hit you with I want to change everything today. And also about the relationship. So I see a lot of parallels here. The dynamic between on the road and the office stuff was good to hear about. And then also, I think what we picked up here is anybody that was listening to this to hear about alternative careers, then they also know to reach out to you or whoever their sales rep is, where depending on where they're listening to this or watching this in the country. Reach out to them if they want to maybe get into an ambassador, become an ambassador or something like that. Would you say that that's accurate?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, we as sales reps, we are looked at, oh, okay, what do you want from me now? Which is very understandable, because being in sales is can be uncomfortable for people. And uh, yes, we are trying to show you the new product or give you some new information, but a lot of times we have access to some information that might be valuable. So if any of the stylists are interested in partnering up with a brand and becoming an ambassador, you can go online and check it out yourself, or you can just text your rep or call your rep and be like, hey, do you know if this brand looking for educators or ambassadors? Chances are we will have an answer for that, and we can just save you some time on that and just put you in touch of who you should reach out to.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. Well,
Mhm.
everybody, you heard that. And this has been great. So I think before we wrap it up, I like to end each of my episodes with a laugh. And I would love to know if there was a time when you maybe did something that was not necessarily funny when it happened. Maybe it was embarrassing, but you could look back on it and laugh about it. And maybe like an embarrassing moment in the salon or during your doing your job as a sales rep.
I'll never forget. It was my first years. I would say probably like a second year. And it taught me such a valuable lesson. Do not work after 10 p.m. I just tried so hard to just, I was on the road all day, and I was like, I'm gonna get home and I'll just put these orders in. And I caught myself just rushing through everything, and I ended up ordering 20 cases of a product instead of just two. Um, so yeah, I was laughing about it in the beginning, very uncomfortable laughter.
Yeah.
But I'm also very glad that I caught it on time and was able to fix it. However, yes, that was funny, and sometimes I'm still reminded of that. But
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Awesome. Well, next time I want to pick your brain on the things on some of this knowledge and information that you're picking up on the road when you're communicating with stylists and salon owners, and particularly in the realm of business. But we'll save that for next time. And until then, thank you so much for being on the show, and I really appreciate it.
thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. And everybody, if you're listening on a podcast, please give us a rating. 5 stars is preferable. Follow us. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. If you're watching on Instagram, please follow us. Drop a comment below. It helps support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And until next time, take care.